before we start the session, let's play a game, right? It's a fun game. Yeah. Want to take your mobile phone and scan this. A page will open. Okay, so let me explain a bit about the game. So you'll get 3 questions, all are fun questions. So you can choose any answer. The fun part is there are no right or wrong answers. But you'll get more points if you have chosen an answer which is chosen by many people. So it's like understanding the crowd mentality, right? So it's fun, it's a fun activity. We'll do it. And you can enter the name, and room name is Dev Summit. Yeah? Cool. I think I'll start the game then. So, which superpower do you want in Bengaluru? Instant VC funding, always get an auto. I think that is extremely tough, to be honest. Never get stuck in traffic. Teleportation to the airport. Yep. Now you can choose your answer. Come on. Yeah, done? Cool. Let's see the summary. Wow, 72.73% has chosen never get stuck in traffic. Yeah, I'm one of them. Yesterday it took me around 1.5 hours to reach my room. Oh, fine. We'll move on to the next question. Your IPL predictions. Is it going to be Isala Cup Namde, Whistle Podu, Halla Bowl, RR, or Orange Army? I think SRH is doing really good. We'll see. What do you think? Yeah? Cool. Let's see the summary. Wow. CS. RCB is not winning even in here. Oh my God. It's sad. So, a lot of CSK fans. That's good. Yeah, I think we'll see about that. The last question. What's the best way to celebrate a successful deployment in an IT company? Right? Have a dance off between the developers and QA team with bugs as dance partners. That's really weird. Toast with servers instead of glasses because in IT uptime is everything. Okay. Let's pray to the server gods for no critical bugs. Take a peaceful nap. So, yeah. Please choose your answer. Done? Fine. I'll just see the summary. Let's pray to the server gods for no critical bugs. I think everyone does that. Cool. So, Pranav, Aishwarya Iyer, and Srinivasa Rao are the top 3. Fine. So, no big round of applause. So, it's just a fun game. I always used to do that. So, before I start a session. Yeah. So, no, we'll move on to the session, right? Cool. So, how many of you have used Zoho products? Is anyone using Zoho products here? Well, okay. How many of you heard about Zoho? Wow. Yes, nice. Okay, how many of you are using any SaaS product for your business? Be it your recruiting solutions or Salesforce, ServiceNow? Quite a few. Cool. Wow, nice. Okay. In this session, we'll discuss about the need for serverless development and a serverless development platform in first place around the SaaS ecosystem. And I'll also share you the evolution of Catalyst, which is our development platform to how it solves your business use cases. And I'll give you a short overview about Catalyst and its offering. And by the end of this session, we'll probably have a demo by deploying a sample Hello World kind of application on top of Catalyst platform so that you can get an essence of Catalyst, right? So a quick intro about me. I'm an engineering manager at Zoho. My native is Tengazi, which is a rural town down south Tamil Nadu. I moved to Chennai for my college. So after my engineering, I joined Zoho as a developer. Zoho is my first and only company. I've been part of Zoho for the past 8 years. And I'm a huge Virat Kohli fan, which also translates that I'm a RCB fan. No, it's sad that we're not doing well, but fine. I hope we'll kick back next year stronger. And a quick intro about Zoho. We offer 55 plus business applications, be it sales, marketing, customer engagement. We have solution for most of the things. We call ourselves as a technology company, not as a software company, because we invest heavily in R&D in creating our own tech stack and infrastructure, which we'll discuss a bit deeper later in this session, right? So now, again, a question to everyone. What would be your approach towards business? Now let me put it simpler. Assume you need a recruitment solution to manage your recruitment process for your business. So what will you do? Will you use a pre-built SaaS solution that is available in the market, or will you build it from scratch? Will you pick a blue pill or red pill? I want everyone to answer. Come on. Blue. Red. I heard a couple of reds. Fine. Okay, so let me tell you the pros and cons of both these approaches, right? So if you take pre-built SaaS solutions, it is easier to implement. It comes with a lot of features straight away, and most importantly, low maintenance over it. But as you scale your business, you may face some use case limitations, or you may hit the glass ceilings when you face new requirements, and you have to depend on the SaaS vendor for your requirement. And if you take the build from scratch approach, it's easier to, since you're building it from scratch, you'll have full control over what you build. So even in future, if any new requirement arises, you can probably build it because you are the one who have built it from scratch, right? But the major problem with build from scratch approach is the huge maintenance overhead that comes along with it. So you have to invest in resources, you have to invest in manpower. It's really tough. And obviously it takes a lot of time to build solutions from scratch. So to be honest, there is no right or wrong answer for that question. It is entirely perspective. So let me give you an example. Assume you are running a fashion store or a retail store. Your primary business goal is to sell fashion products, right? For that you need salesperson or manager or something like that. So in that case, if you want to manage your recruitment process, then probably you go for a pre-built SaaS solution. There is nothing wrong in it. But if you are running a recruitment firm where your primary business goal is recruitment, then you can seriously consider building that solution from scratch. No, it is understandable. So that is why most of the times the SaaS vendor priorities doesn't align with the business priorities. The use case is same, but the business goal differs. The business use cases differs. So we at Zoho have faced this problem. We have large variety of customers. They come up with very unique use cases, and it is really tough to solve all those use cases with a single generic feature. So in order to solve this problem, we took a platform-centric approach. So we wanted each of our product to act as a platform by itself. For example, if you take CRM, you can come into the CRM, customize the data model of it, and we have APIs, SDKs, low-code tool builders, custom scripts. With all these, you can extend the functionalities of our business products. But is this enough? Did this platform-centric approach solve all our customer needs? Well, the answer is no, still no. So let me tell you a couple of use cases so that we can understand this better. So one of our customer had this use case. So he was into the retail of fashion apparels. He was running multiple stores, and they had multiple POS systems within each store. So their use case is very simple. So whenever a customer checks out in the POS system, they need to check these conditions, and they had their customer database in the CRM. So basically what they needed is they needed a layer in between POS system and CRM which checks all these conditions. Some of the conditions are check the offer eligibility of the customer that periodically gets updated in the CRM, and check for loyalty points, check for birthdays and other events and so on. They had some 7 to 8 conditions. I've listed only 3 here. So the straightforward solution for this would be to deploy a VM, so which is a straightforward solution between the CRM and the POS system that and expose a HTTP endpoint to the POS system so that when you hit the HTTP endpoint, your business logic will run which will fetch data to and fro from the CRM and return the response to the POS system. Again, this solution may seem simple, but it comes with its challenges. When you get more traffic, so assume it is a festival day, all the POS systems will get occupied, so you have to provision more number of VMs, monitor the traffic, and when you provision more number of VMs, obviously in the load balancer comes into the picture, you have to route requests across it, and you have to constantly monitor the VM and the process for its uptime. So these are some of the challenges that comes with this solution, and we'll move on to the next use case. So this is another unique use case faced by our customer. He was using our accounting tool and he wanted to generate hundreds of reports on the first working day of every month and mail it to their different stakeholders. So the problem, our accounting tool actually supported automated reports on monthly basis, but it was unable to check whether the current day was a working day. So that is a major limitation for them. So they decided to implement their own custom scheduler and invoke the report API on the first working day of every month, which is again a straightforward thing. But again, the accounting tool didn't have a report API. It had a provision to generate reports via UI, but it was not exposed as the API. So this is another roadblock faced by our customer. So in order to solve this, they spawned a headless browser in one of the cloud providers, and they wrote a Puppeteer code. So the headless browser, I think most of you are familiar with the headless browser. Headless browser is nothing but a browser running in the server. So they wrote a Puppeteer code that spawned the headless browser, which in turn opened the accounting tool and generated all the required reports and mailed it to the stakeholder. And the custom scheduler will invoke this Puppeteer code on the first working day of every month. Again, as they scaled their business, the number of reports got increased and they randomly started to face slowness and browser crash due to increase in sessions. And the custom scheduler which they have implemented, it came with its own maintenance over it. And they also needed some level of headless browser expertise to ensure the high availability of the solution. And most importantly, version upgrades and security patches of the browser, because it is very critical because they are opening their accounting tool in the browser. So that also that needed to be taken care. So both the solutions we discussed, it came with its own challenges, right? So how do we solve this? So our customer faced these kind of problems and we needed a way to solve this, right? So in order to find the answer for this question, let us see how development actually happens in Zoho. In Zoho, we have our infrastructure and we have our framework, which is maintained by the frameworks and ops team. The infrastructure includes virtual machines, load balancers, DNS and all those kind of stuff. And framework comes with pre-built microservices such as authentication microservice, job scheduling microservice. We have our own NoSQL solution as a microservice. So this is developed and maintained by the framework and the ops team. At the other end, we have the product team where the internal developers, UI, UX, PM persons belong to. So when a developer gets a new requirement or a new feature, what he does is he develops it using our framework and he gets access to those frameworks using the developer tools provided to him. And once the development is done, he'll deploy it to the production infrastructure using the deployment tools. This is where the CI/CD pipeline kicks in, right? The security testing, penetration testing, QA, everything is taken care by the deployment tool. So once the feature has been shipped, the developer will move on to the next business requirement. The availability, scalability, the server addition, server removal, everything is taken care by the frameworks and the ops team. So by this way, we were able to develop our product both in terms of features and scalability. So if you look at this from hindsight, our developers are already working in a serverless approach within Zoho. So they don't care about the infrastructure, so they don't worry about scalability because it is taken care by the separate team. They focus only on the business and product goals. So in order to solve our customer problem, right, we wanted to fit our customers and external developers right into the same spectrum as our internal developers. We wanted to open our infrastructure and framework to the external developers so that they can solve their business problems like how our internal developers do it for us, right? And this is the primary principle and primary idea behind Catalyst, which is our pro-code full stack application solutions and development platform powered by Zoho's tech stack. So with this, you have access to our framework and infrastructure, all our framework components, and you can use it and build your solutions around SaaS ecosystem and a standalone application, which we'll see later. And these are some of the features. I'll just quickly walk through this. So we have formulated the features as a tech stack pyramid. The base layer of the pyramid is the compute service, data service, and hosting services that is needed for application building. We have functions, app sales, and we have data store, file store, and also we have NoSQL databases. And hosting is where you host your client. And the next layer of the pyramid is our pre-built microservices like authentication, logging, performance metering, mailing. All these are pre-built microservices. You can use it straight away into your app. And the topmost thing which we call as advanced services, this is where our SaaS experience kicks in. These are some of the tailor-made solutions that suits perfectly into the SaaS ecosystem. Like I discussed, Smart Browse, which is the headless browser management service, which manages the browser for you. And we have QuickML, which is a no-code machine learning model building platform. You just have to feed data into it, and you just have to select the algorithm. The model will be trained. You don't need to write any codes. And we also have ConverCraft, our NLU chat builder platform. So we support 3 runtimes, Node.js, Python, and Java, and these are the frameworks. You can use any frameworks that is available in the market. And also we have client frameworks and mobile frameworks that you can use for your app development. So the solution that we saw earlier has now become this. So all you have to do for this POS system, probably you can write your code as a microservice and deploy it in our environment. We will expose an endpoint, and that endpoint can be called directly from the POS system. So you don't need to worry about adding or removing servers. Though as soon as the endpoint has been hit, the server will spun up, it will run. So everything is taken care by the platform itself. And this automated report use case, it is now transformed into this. The browser is managed by the Smart Browse, and we have a Catalyst managed cron. So everything is taken care by the managed services. So you just have to use it and code it. So it's very simple. So this Catalyst is only for SaaS solutions. What else can you do with Catalyst, right? Well, the gaming application which we played earlier, right, was actually hosted on top of Catalyst. So all those real-time functionalities. So as soon as I click next, you would have got the question without refreshing your page, right? So everything was actually hosted on top of Catalyst. So we didn't do any server provisioning. So I think some 60 to 60 people here. So the server would have automatically spun up by the platform. So even if you need to build a gaming app like this, you can probably do that. The platform is really flexible. I think we have time. I'll just give you a short demo by building a sample app. Okay. So this is the Catalyst console. I'll just go here and create a project as devs. And these are the various services that we have. Under serverless, we have functions, app sale, and cloud scale, we have data store, file store, and all the framework components. So now, and we also have a CLI tool, which I'll be using. I have already installed the CLI. So if not, probably you can do it. So first I have to do login. So I've already logged in, so I'll use the same account. So all I have to do is, I'll just initialize the project first. So I'll select the project I've created, devs, yeah, cool. And yeah, we will code a server, a function, and a client here. And yeah, these are the various types of functions. The browser logic, which I told earlier, right? It's a browser function. And there are many more functions. Cron is for scheduling purposes. Right now we'll use advanced IO, which is our HTTP version of function. And I'll select node 18 as a runtime. Yeah. I'll stick to the basic web app for now. So that's it. The Catalyst project has been initialized now. So this is a sample Node.js server. So I thought of deploying this, but since we are in the age of AI, we'll probably do a mock ticket booking application. It's a mock app. Yeah. I've asked ChatGPT to write a mock Express.js code for a ticket booking application. It did. So I'll just copy this code and I'll just put it here. And yeah. Yep. So I'll just go to the, I'll install the Express dependency. Yes. So the mock server, I've just copied the code. So when I hit catalyst serve, a local server will spun up. So with this, you can probably test the code here. The API will be invoked. So now, in order to deploy this local code into our platform, all you have to do is you just have to hit this command. In the back end, all the packaging and everything will happen. And in a while, you should get a URL. Yeah. So now, if I take this URL and hit it in the browser, the code should be available. So I've just copied the code from the website, I've pasted it, and I've deployed it to the Catalyst. So it's pretty easy here. And now, okay, let's design a sample client for this. So this is the HTML code that I asked the ChatGPT to generate with these APIs, which it did. So I'll just go to the index page, and yeah, I'll just change the name here because I have main.css and main.js. Oh, good. And I think I have CSS here. Yeah. And the JS code. So again, let's hit catalyst serve. It should serve the client as well now. Yeah. So this is a sample client that I generated from ChatGPT. So probably if I book tickets here, no, it will just, the number get reduced. So now let's deploy it again to the cloud environment. You should get the URL in a minute. Yep. So now, if I hit this URL, the app will be available. So it is live, up and running. So what I did here is I didn't prepare anything. So I've just used the code generated by the ChatGPT. So I've just put it in VS Code and I've used the CLI and deployed it to the production. So we wanted it to be very simple. So that is our primary goal with Catalyst. And here I have deployed it straight away from my developer machine, but generally you can do the same using the CI/CD pipelines. Our CI/CD is, our CLI is compatible for all CI/CD pipelines as well. So that's it from my side. So what I've shown you here is a tip of the iceberg. So there are a lot of more offerings, a lot of more microservices, a lot of more features built into Catalyst. If you are into solution building, or if you are from service company, then probably you can meet our team at Boot 2. They'll more than happy to help you. So if you have any questions, probably. Thank you so much.